This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Max and Mia podcast. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. We're so happy you're here with us today.
So, today's episode is a special one. We're going to talk about 3 super common problems that a lot of English learners face.
Yeah, these are situations that can really put you on the spot, but don't worry. We've got you covered.
Exactly. Our goal today is to help you take your English to the next level using proven techniques that actually work. We're talking real science-backed methods.
That's right. Throughout the episode, we'll be using techniques like comprehensible input and learning in chunks to help you along the way. Both are backed by research and can make a huge difference in how fast you improve.
And honestly, these aren't just techniques we read about somewhere. They've actually worked for us too when we were learning another language.
Totally. We've tested them ourselves, so we know firsthand how well they can work.
So if you want to boost your English in a way that's simple, practical, and actually effective, stick around.
Let's get started.
Okay, so the first scenario we're going to look at today is something almost everyone struggles with: starting a conversation in English.
Oh, this one's huge. So many people freeze up the moment they need to say that first sentence to someone new.
Right, and it's not just about knowing the words. It's about knowing what's appropriate to say, and just as important, what to avoid.
Exactly. A lot of learners end up saying something a bit awkward or even rude without even realizing it, and that can make the whole interaction feel uncomfortable.
So let's break this down. What are some common mistakes people make when they try to start a conversation?
Well, one big one is jumping straight into personal questions, like asking someone about their salary or their age right away. In English, that can come across as too direct or even nosy.
Good point. Another common issue is relying on the same tired opener every single time. Something like, "How are you?" and then not knowing where to take it from there.
True, it gets repetitive fast, and it doesn't really open the door to a real conversation.
So, what can we actually do instead? Let's give our listeners a few techniques they can use right away.
Sure. One approach is to comment on something in your shared environment. If you're at a coffee shop, you could mention the music or ask about something on the menu. It feels natural because it's tied to the moment.
I like that one. Another technique is using an open-ended question instead of a yes or no question. That way, the other person has more to work with, and the conversation can flow more naturally.
And don't forget tone. Even a simple phrase can sound friendly or awkward depending on how you say it. Confidence really does make a difference.
Great tips. Now, to really see this in action, we've got a short audio clip for you.
That's right. In this clip, you'll hear Gerd, who's trying to start a conversation with Lucia.
Pay close attention to how natural he sounds, the words he chooses, and how he keeps the conversation going without making it feel forced.
Let's listen in.
Excuse me, do you know if they still have the caramel latte on the menu? I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, I think they took it off a couple of weeks ago. I was actually looking for it too.
That's a bummer. I couldn't help but notice you're reading The Midnight Library. I read that last year.
Really? What did you think of it?
Honestly, I loved it. It's not the kind of book I'd normally pick up, but a friend recommended it, and I decided to give it a shot. I ended up finishing it in like 3 days.
Wow, that fast? I'm barely 100 pages in. I keep getting distracted with work stuff.
Yeah, that happens to me too, especially with a physical book. I read way more when it's on my phone, which is kind of ironic.
I get that. So, do you come here often? I don't think I've seen you around before.
Not really, actually. I usually work from home, but my apartment's getting some repairs done this week, so I figured I'd try a new spot.
That makes sense. Well, this place is pretty decent for working. It gets a bit loud around lunchtime, though.
Good to know. I'll probably stick to mornings then. By the way, I'm Gerd.
Nice to meet you, Gerd. I'm Lucia.
Nice to meet you too. So what kind of work do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
Not at all. I'm a graphic designer, freelance. It's great because I can work from pretty much anywhere, but to be honest, it gets a little lonely sometimes.
I can imagine. I work in marketing, and even though I'm around people all day on calls, it's not really the same as actual conversation.
Exactly. There's something different about talking to someone face to face.
Totally agree. Hey, this might be a random question, but do you know any good spots around here? I just moved to the neighborhood and I'm still figuring things out.
Oh, for sure. There's a really good bakery just 2 blocks down. And if you like parks, there's a nice one a bit further, perfect for taking a break.
That sounds great. Thanks. I'll definitely check those out.
No problem. Well, I should probably get back to this book before I lose my page count entirely.
Fair enough. It was really nice talking to you, Lucia.
You too, Gerd. Maybe I'll see you around here sometime.
Sounds good. Take care.
Okay, I love that. Did you notice how relaxed the whole thing sounded? No pressure, no big dramatic moment, just 2 people talking.
Right, that's exactly the point. It didn't feel forced at all, and that's what we want you to take away from this.
Before we jump into the analysis, we actually want to invite you all to join something new we're building.
Yes, we just launched a YouTube community, and it's going to be full of exclusive content for members.
We're talking videos that go beyond just grammar and vocabulary. We want to help you use English as a tool to actually improve different areas of your life.
So if you're serious about leveling up this skill, come join us there. We'd love to have you as part of the community.
All right, now let's get into the analysis.
So 2 phrases really stood out in that conversation. I couldn't help but, and give it a shot.
These are what we call chunks, groups of words that go together naturally. Native speakers don't build these sentences word by word. They just use the whole chunk automatically.
And that's the trick. Instead of memorizing grammar rules, you memorize the chunk as one piece, and your brain starts using it the same way.
So here's what we want you to do. Close your eyes for a second and picture yourself in a real situation, actually saying one of these chunks.
Not the exact sentence we just heard, but a new one. Something that fits your own life.
For example, with I couldn't help but, you could say something like, I couldn't help but laugh when he tripped over his own shoes.
Or, I couldn't help but stare at the view. It was breathtaking. See? Same chunk, totally different situation.
And for give it a shot, you might say, I've never cooked sushi before, but I'm going to give it a shot this weekend.
Or even, she wasn't sure about the new job, but she decided to give it a shot anyway. Try building 2 or 3 of your own. It really helps the chunk stick.
Perfect. Now, let's move on to our second scenario for today.
So, we're recording this in July, which means it's vacation season for a lot of you.
And if you've traveled with family or friends recently, you've probably experienced this. You order food at a restaurant, and then, for some reason, you need to change it.
Maybe you want to swap something on the menu, add an extra item, or take something off the order completely.
It happens way more often than people think, and it can catch you off guard if you're not prepared with the right phrases.
In our next clip, we'll hear Jimmy, who has to go back and make a few changes to his family's order.
Let's listen to how he handles it.
Hi, sorry to bother you again. I think we need to make a couple of changes to our order.
No problem at all. What would you like to change?
So, my daughter ordered the chicken pasta, but she just realised it comes with mushrooms, and she's not a fan of those.
That's totally fine. We can leave the mushrooms out. Would she like anything else added instead, or is that okay as is?
Maybe some extra cheese instead, if that's possible.
Of course, I'll add that to the order. Anything else?
Yeah, actually. My wife ordered the salmon, but she's changed her mind. Is it too late to switch it to the grilled chicken?
Let me check with the kitchen real quick, but it shouldn't be a problem since they haven't started on that dish yet.
That would be great, thank you.
No worries. And was there anything else you wanted to adjust?
One more thing, if you don't mind. Could we add a side of fries to the table? We didn't order any sides at first, but the kids are asking for some.
Absolutely. I'll put that in for you. Regular fries, or would you like the sweet potato ones?
Regular is perfect, thanks.
Got it. So just to confirm, we're removing the mushrooms and adding extra cheese to the pasta, switching the salmon to grilled chicken, and adding a side of regular fries. Does that sound right?
Yes, that's exactly right. Sorry for all the back and forth.
Don't worry about it at all. This happens all the time. It's much better to catch it now than after the food arrives.
True, that would have been way more annoying.
Exactly. I'll go ahead and update everything in the kitchen. It shouldn't take much longer than usual.
Perfect. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Can I get you all anything to drink while you wait? Maybe some refills?
Actually, yes. Could we get a refill on the lemonade for the kids?
Sure thing. I'll bring that right over.
Thank you so much. You've been really helpful.
Happy to help. I'll be back shortly with your drinks and to let you know how the order's coming along.
Sounds great. Thanks again.
Okay, I really liked how calm that whole exchange was. Nobody got flustered, even with all those changes.
Right. And that's honestly the goal. Changing an order isn't a big deal, but a lot of learners freeze up because they don't know the right way to phrase it.
Exactly. And that's actually something worth mentioning. There are a few things you'll want to avoid saying in situations like this.
Good point. For example, avoid saying something like, "I don't want this." It can come across as a bit blunt or even rude.
Right? Instead, you'd want to soften it. Something like, "Would it be possible to change this?" It's more polite and it keeps the tone friendly.
Same with pointing out a mistake. Instead of saying, "You got this wrong," you could say, "I think there might be a small mix-up with the order."
Small changes in wording, but they make a huge difference in how you come across.
All right, let's talk about our chunk for this one. If you don't mind.
This is such a useful phrase because it softens a request. It makes you sound polite without sounding overly formal.
Exactly. So again, close your eyes for a second and picture yourself using it in your own life, in a completely different sentence than the one we heard.
For example, could you turn the music down a bit if you don't mind? Or, I'll take the seat by the window if you don't mind.
See how flexible it is? You can drop it into all kinds of everyday requests.
All right, now let's move on to our last scenario of the day.
So this one connects to what we talked about earlier. Remember our first scenario about starting a conversation?
Of course, with Gerd and Lucia.
Right. Well, this time we're taking that same idea, but into a setting that feels a bit more personal. Starting a conversation with someone closer to you, specifically a coworker.
Oh, this is a good one. Workplace conversations can feel way more intimidating than talking to a stranger.
Definitely. And I actually struggled with this a lot when I first started working in an English-speaking environment. I remember sitting at my desk, seeing a coworker walk by, and just completely blanking on what to say.
That sounds stressful.
It was. I'd overthink every single sentence in my head before even opening my mouth. Eventually, I realized the issue wasn't my English. It was that I was putting way too much pressure on finding the perfect thing to say.
So what changed?
I started using small, low-pressure comments as icebreakers. Things like mentioning the weather, asking about their weekend, or even just complimenting something small, like their coffee mug. It sounds simple, but it took all the pressure off.
That's such a good strategy because it doesn't require deep vocabulary, just consistency.
Exactly. And over time, those small comments turned into real conversations and eventually real friendships at work.
So for our listeners, here's a tip. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect sentence. Start small and build from there.
All right. With that in mind, let's listen to our final conversation of the day between Ed and Amy.
Let's dive in.
Hey, Amy, right? I don't think we've officially met. I'm Ed. I just joined the design team.
Oh, hi, Ed. Yeah, I'm Amy. I work in marketing. Welcome aboard, by the way.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm still trying to get the hang of where everything is around here. I got lost twice just looking for the break room.
Don't worry, everyone does that the first week. The building's a bit of a maze if you're not used to it.
Good to know it's not just me. So, how long have you been working here?
About 2 years now. It's gone by fast, honestly. I still remember feeling exactly like you do right now.
That's reassuring. Do you like it here so far?
Yeah, for the most part. The people are great, and the projects keep things interesting. There's always something new going on.
That's good to hear. I noticed there's a coffee machine on this floor. Is it any good, or should I just bring my own?
Honestly, bring your own. That machine's decent for a quick fix, but there's a small cafe 2 blocks away that's way better if you have the time.
Noted. I'll definitely check that out. I'm kind of a coffee person, so that's important information.
Same here. I basically run on coffee most mornings.
I feel that. So, what's your team working on right now, if you don't mind me asking?
We're actually in the middle of a big campaign launch, so things have been a bit hectic lately. Lots of meetings, lots of coffee, as you can imagine.
Sounds intense. I'm getting settled into a few design projects myself. Nothing too crazy yet, but I'm sure that'll change soon.
It usually does, but at least you'll ease into it slowly. That's actually a nice way to start.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. Hey, by the way, do people usually eat lunch together, or is it more of a everyone does their own thing kind of place?
A bit of both, honestly. Some people eat at their desks, but a group of us usually grabs lunch around 1. You're welcome to join whenever you want.
That'd be great, thanks. I'll probably take you up on that soon, once I figure out my schedule a bit more.
Sounds good. Well, I should get back to it, but it was really nice meeting you, Ed.
You too, Amy. Thanks for all the tips, seriously.
Anytime. If you ever get lost again, just ask around. People here are pretty friendly.
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. See you around.
See ya.
I really liked that one. It felt so realistic. That awkward first meeting a coworker energy was spot on.
Right? And Ed handled it really well. He kept things light, asked simple questions, and let the conversation grow naturally.
Exactly what we talked about earlier. No pressure, no overthinking, just small comments that build into something real.
And did you notice he didn't try to sound overly formal either? He just talked like a normal person, and that's what made it work.
Totally. A lot of learners think they need to sound super polished at work, but honestly, sounding natural is way more important than sounding perfect.
Right. And Amy made it easy for him too. She kept the conversation going with little follow-up questions, which is a great skill to pick up as well.
That's actually a good tip on its own. If someone gives you an opening like mentioning coffee or getting lost in the building, run with it. Ask a follow-up question instead of just saying, "Oh, okay."
Yes, that's what keeps a conversation alive instead of it dying after one exchange.
All right, let's highlight our last chunk of her day. Keep that in mind.
This one's great because you can use it in so many situations, whether you're remembering advice, a tip, or even something someone told you to be careful about.
So, same as always, close your eyes for a second and imagine your own sentence with it.
For example, the meeting got moved to Friday, so keep that in mind. Or, she said the store closes early on Sundays. I'll keep that in mind.
You could also use it to give advice to someone else, like, "It gets pretty cold at night here, so keep that in mind when you're packing."
See how natural that sounds? Once you start noticing chunks like this, you'll hear them everywhere, in shows, in conversations, even in songs sometimes.
That's actually a great habit to build. Once you learn a chunk, start listening for it in real life. It reinforces everything we're teaching you here.
All right, so let's recap the episode a bit. Today we covered 3 really common scenarios: starting a conversation with someone new, making changes to an order at a restaurant, and starting a conversation with a coworker.
And in each one, we focused on something a lot of learners overlook. It's not just about grammar, it's about sounding natural, confident, and polite at the same time.
Exactly. And along the way, we picked up some really useful chunks. I couldn't help but give it a shot, if you don't mind. And of course, keep that in mind.
These small phrases might seem simple, but they're the kind of thing that makes your English sound natural and effortless. Way more than memorizing long lists of vocabulary ever will.
Exactly. Little by little, these chunks add up, and before you know it, you're speaking with way more confidence, without even having to think about grammar rules in your head.
And that's really the whole point of today's episode, giving you real practical tools you can use starting today. Not just theory.
So, our challenge for you this week is simple. Try using at least one of these chunks in a real conversation, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable at first.
That discomfort is actually a good sign. It means you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's exactly where real progress happens. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and spending this time with us.
We really hope you enjoyed it. And more than that, we hope you're leaving with something you can actually use in your day-to-day life.
If this episode taught you something new, or even just made you feel a bit more confident about your English, that's exactly what we're here for.
And remember, don't forget to check out our new YouTube community we mentioned earlier. There's exclusive content there that we think you're really going to enjoy.
And if you liked this episode, it would mean a lot to us if you left a like, dropped a comment letting us know your thoughts, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
Even better, share this episode with 3 friends who are also on their English learning journey. It really helps us reach more people who could use this kind of content.
Seriously, every like, comment, and share makes a huge difference for us. And it helps us keep creating content like this for you.
Big hug from both of us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, keep practicing, and see you next time. To keep taking your English to the next level, click on the next video or explore the others we've made for you.